Hello, everyone. So, I'm doing another impromptu stream. So, this time, last Sunday I did a stream where we were in the middle of a heat wave in Oregon, and I set up a Raspberry Pi to start pulling in a bunch of temperature data. So, today we're going to look at some of that temperature data, and we'll dive right into it. And what I've done is exported a lot of this stuff from Adafruit.io. So, I will go ahead and grab, let's see. There we go. So I piped all of this into Adafruit.io. And for a little bit of background, for those of you who weren't watching the stream, I did a temperature under the deck, which I basically put this, we'll go to Twitter and I'll show a picture here. Twitter. My own profile here. Go to media. I post a lot of crap, don't I? Here it is. So here's a picture of what I put underneath my deck. Now, the reason I did this is I didn't want it to be in direct sunlight, obviously, because that would kind of skew the readings. And we're just reading temperature and humidity. And underneath the deck here, we don't have sunlight directly on it. Plus, we have those rafters along the side that's kind of blocking the wind. So I feel like it was getting a pretty good ambient temperature. And I was checking against our local weather. So our nearest weather station is about 6 miles away from me. So I was checking it against that, and it was within a degree or exactly the same every time. So I figure it's pretty accurate. And we'll go into the real time here. So the heat wave is over. So right now it's at 91 degrees. And you might be thinking, how on earth is 91 degrees the end of the heat wave? We got up to some serious temperatures here in Oregon, and that's what we're going to look at today. So we're going to look at the temperature under the deck. And then on the second day, I decided, well, let's go ahead and put this in a car. And so I left that one that's under my deck. It's still running right now. And then I decided to take another Raspberry Pi, throw some software on it, and put it in a Ford Focus. And look at that. So the first day, I left the windows down, all 4 windows about 2 inches down. The second day, I rolled the windows up. So that's what we'll be looking at. And as you can see here, 129, it went way higher than that. 140, 149, went way the heck up inside the car. So let's start loading in some of this data and taking a look at it. I've got DB Browser open here. Create a new database. And I'm just going to check something really quick here. Make sure all my streams are going. Looks like probably not. That's okay. Going to check. So one of the things I wanted to do is try to put this live on jeremymorgan.com, and I don't think I'm able to do it live. So pause for just a minute. I will open up Developer Tools, see what kind of message we're getting. That's terrible. And I'm on the Mac Mini today, which when I did this experiment, I was on my Linux machine. Today I'm on the Mac Mini, and I'm noticing some weird mouse activity. So not too much of a surprise. It's happened before. Okay. That's fine. As long as I'm streaming on, it looks like Twitch and Twitter, then I'm happy. Happy guy. So, what I'll do is go into my repos here, and we're just going to create a SQL database. I think I called this hot car or something. Heatwave car. There we go. And in here, I'm going to put we'll do room temperature first, which is actually outside temperature. I named that feed room temperature because it was an old feed. So we'll just say outside temp.db. Cancel out of this table and we'll import this data. Import table from CSV file. So this is our outside temperature. Open it up. Fields look pretty good. Looks like this is creating as text. That's fine. I probably should have tried this out a little bit before doing this, but let's see if I can make these values a little bigger. Is there a view, window layout, some kind of settings, preferences? There we go. Font size. I'm going to try to make the font a little more readable. That's a gigantic fail right there. Holy crap. So every font except for the data, which is actually what I wanted. And there's that weird mouse activity again. You see that? So the M1 Max is pretty cool, but it is not without its problems. And apparently that just screwed everything up. Weird. We're not going to save that. We're just going to open it back up again because I did something weird to mess it up. So we'll do a new database. Go under Jeremy. And yeah, I don't really have a lot planned out, but that's the whole purpose of this channel, right? We're just geeking out on silly crap. What was it, heat wave car? Looks like I already have an outside temp. I'll do it again. Temp.db. Yes, we'll replace it. And I'm going to take this and we're going to import that CSV file again. See if it doesn't look like garbage this time. Table from CSV file, and we're going to do room temperature. And now I know not to mess with the fonts again. All right, let's browse data. Nope, fonts are still screwed up. I permanently borked it. It's fantastic. I can still read those values even though they're some weird kind of font. Let's mess with it a little bit. Dang it, I've never done that before, so I probably should have known not to. Font size, let's see, restore defaults. I haven't really done anything with this, so there we go, there's the default font again. It's just really hard to see on a stream. So, as we look through here, we can see this looks to be ordered by time. It starts June 30th, so it looks like it's descending. Is it? No, it is ascending. Very weird. So you can see these crazy temperatures. Let's look at the temperatures for this day, 6/29. We're going to select, I believe it was called value. Silly name for a field, right? Yep. Select value from, what was the name of that table that we named it? Room temperature. Come on, autocomplete. There we go. And since there's dashes in here, you can actually see in SQLite, since there's dashes in here, we won't be able to run it like this. And I'll show you. So if you have dashes in the name with SQLite, you gotta wrap that baby with quotes. Now it's a string. There we go. So we'll select value and then the timestamp, which I'll have to look at the structure again, is created at. Let's say created at. Cool. Now this looks to be a string. This is like a text string here. So queries might be a little off. And I forgot to open up my chat window. Let me do that really quick. Open in browser. That way, in case anyone drops a question or anything in chat, I will be able to see it. All right. So we have each of these here. Now let's do a little select on the days. Looks like the 26th is the first one here. And I have to look at my Twitter again to see. I believe the 26th was the first day that I started recording. There we go. So let's just take a look at the 26th. Where? Now, since this is text, I think I'm going to have to use like. And we'll say like 2021 06 26. Actually, I don't want the percent sign there. And this should bring us each one. Now, these were taken every 30 seconds. So there's a ton of them. In fact, let's see how many we have here. 8,000 records to go through. So here we can kind of zoom in. Now, if you look at 4:30, looks like that's about where it starts here. 4:30 UTC, which I have no idea what time that was here. I'll have to figure that out. I think it's +8. So probably sometime in the morning. Started out at 74 degrees. Not a big deal. But as you can see, it starts to rise here. Now we're getting into 80, like within minutes. I should say within hours. We start here at 1636. 2 hours later, at 1836, we're already at 86 degrees. And it just keeps going up. 90, 90. There we go. We broke 100 right here. And then it just kept going up. And it looks like we finished out somewhere around 109. As I'm looking at these times, I think I have this sorted improperly. Because the way the values are incrementing. There we go. Now let's see what we ended the day at. Still says 109. So let's see what the top temperature was that day. Do max value from our friend, the oddly named table. What was our big temperature of the day? 119, which that's where I have to put in the where clause because I know that was our max temp overall. And it was not on the 26th. It's like match value. From room temperature. Maybe I can't do that with the max value. So let's just save this max value here. I thought I could do that. There we go. I had to highlight it. So in this, it's DB browser, you have to highlight the specific SQL that you want. So that's 109.4. Let's see what it was on the 27th. 115. And the 28th. 119. So this was the highest one of all of them. Was on the 28th. Let's drop this into an Excel spreadsheet. I think that might be kind of cool to do that. So we'll take this top one, copy it. Nope, I thought I had Excel open here. There it is. Do a blank workbook. I'm not sure why that's not. Usually that does paste. So maybe I'm thinking Google Sheets. All right, copy with headers. And I think there's a way, let's see, I'll write these changes for one. And then I think there's a way to export this. And then I'll be able to open it for sure. Export tables as CSV file. Okay, so we're going to do room temperature. We're just going to export the whole table. Actually, we could just, let's just open up the table then. That's what we got to do. Import. We're going to do a CSV file. We're going to go in here to our repository, which we called Heatwave Car. We're going to open up room temperature. Should probably do a fixed width. This does not look great. Delimiter, comma, there we go, that looks better. There's my mouse being goofy again. Thanks, Pally. This is, do not, or actually, yeah, we'll just say general. Do this one as a date. Now somehow I am pulling in the header, so I probably missed that. Maybe not. Okay, comma. We want this to be a date. We'll see if it handles it. Where this is going to be year, month, day. Finish. We want to put it right here. Boom, there's our data. Cool. Now I'm thinking we make some kind of graph with this. So this will be interesting. This will probably go huge with 8,000 of these things, but let's find out. So we'll take this data, if I remember how to do this. It's been so long. Oh, we can group it. Let's take this data and make a graph out of it. A chart of some type. 2D column. Probably going to be something like this. Now this isn't formatted great, but as you can see here, this is what the heat wave looked like. Pretty cool, right? We got, these are each of the days. So the very first day, which was actually not quite the first day of the heat wave, but that's okay. We started out way down here. Hottest point of that day, you know, that 112. We got 115. And then on the hottest of the hot days, 117 area, which closely matches what was measured. Portland was a little lower. Salem was right about the same. And then we got that break where it's 97. And I tell you, this day felt so cold compared to these days. So I was out fighting a fire when this little section right here, we actually had a brush fire break out, and it was miserably hot out there. Yeah, so the next day, 97 felt great, and it just kind of went from there. So look at this, and we're going to create another sheet. We're going to pull in the car temperatures now. How did I do that? Import. We want CSV file. And this one is car temperature. This is the one that everybody really cares about. And I'm going to put these together. I'm going to write a little article. And we're scrubbing this data and put it all together so we can really get a clear view of it. This one is going to be a date, year, month, day. We want to put it right there. This one you can see that the temperatures are just through the roof. So let's draw or insert another line graph. This data. And this is incredible. So it started right off. This is at 98.6. So what I did was, this was in the middle of the stream that I did last week. And I had my wife run the car and run the air conditioner for like 15 minutes, get it down to as cold as it could go. And then we decided to start up this monitoring process. So it started out on that day at 98.6. Within a very short amount of time, we're at 165 degrees in there. This is with the windows down. So this first day here is with the windows down. And second day also. Third day was with when I rolled the windows up. So the second day with the windows down, you could see we got up to 168 degrees in there, which this peak probably coincides perfectly. And this is one of the things I have to scrub out the data and merge it, but it probably coincides perfectly with the peak of the day, which is, let's see, looks like around 115, 116. And then we're up here in the like 170 range. Completely crazy, completely bonkers inside there. So this first day and the second day, windows rolled down. Third day, windows rolled up. Didn't seem to make that much of a difference, but this day, as you can see, it's cooler. So there's a little weird. Like I said, I've got to overlap this stuff, but I just kind of wanted to show everybody who was watching that stream. I actually got a lot of viewers on that stream, so I decided, well, I should share the info now. We'll share it over a stream with anybody that's watching now or in the future. And like I said, I'm going to scrub this out and write an article around it to do something interesting with this data. Let's see what let's pipe this in really quick. So we'll close that database, create a new one, call it cartemp.db, and we'll import this one. I love doing this SQLite stuff. This is what a little video that I made for Pluralsight about working with data in this way. This is a great way to work with data. If you just want to work with small data sets like this, SQLite's amazing. I could make a web app out of this. I could do all kinds of stuff. So that's right. I wanted to import car temperature. Actually, we'll just change these. Table names. Not sure why I didn't just put it in the same database, but Are they not named the same thing? Oh no, these ones are named field. That's fantastic. Looks like everything was stuffed into text in this one, so let's browse the data. We want field 2 and field 4. So let's say field 2. I'm not sure what I did differently between these two, but that's all right. Still doesn't like it because I love it when I do that. This needs to be field 4. Now it should work. 0 rows. What is our max temperature out of the car? What is our max field 2 from the car? That's very interesting. Let's just start all over again here. Select. You want me to do field or do you want me to do value? Not values. Field 2. Field 4 from car temperature. I should be able to select max out of there. So I'm not sure why that's not working. That's okay, I'll figure it out later. So yeah, I'll do a little bit more intense work with this data and we'll see what we can extract. One of the things I'll need to do is line these two up, and then I want to see the big difference here between these. Now these IDs are all unique, so it's going to be a little difficult to merge. Probably going to have to merge based on timestamp, most likely. So we could do something like this. Look at that, making that M1 crunch. Ah, it's goofy. I'm not an Excel wizard, clearly. But I'll take this data and merge it. I will make it open and available for others to interpret. So I'll take these CSVs, I'll put them on GitHub. I've got a couple experiments actually, since I've got this data. I've got a couple of experiments I want to run around it. We'll add a web service to it, and then I'll probably do something in Blazor or Vue to display this data and make it so you can query it and do all kinds of cool stuff. And I will share all of that source code with you all. Probably do it on a live stream. I don't know. We'll see. how that works out. But I definitely want to get some of these max temperatures and just see, where the max is for each one and see what the differences are. Does it close the window? Does it not? I don't know. But this will be very cool. So hit me up on Twitter, Jeremy C. Morgan, if you'd like to see something particular with this data, or if you'd like to get access to this data yourself. Actually, if you ping me tonight, email me, jeremymorgan@gmail.com, or ping me on Twitter. I will send you these data sets and CSV, and you can start playing around with them yourself. And then I'm also going to build something with it. Like I said, I'll probably do it on stream, but I just kind of wanted to share some of this data, some of these findings with some of the folks on my stream. So go ahead and follow me on Twitch. I'm going to do more stuff like this. You might notice that everything I do on Twitch is kind of scattered. I don't just focus on, just doing .NET and just doing Raspberry Pi and just doing Golang, because I love all those things. So I'm just going to kind of do all of it. That's why I named the channel Geeking Out with Jeremy, because we're just going to geek out on various stuff, and it could be anything related to tech. There could be a bunch of different languages in there. So follow me on Twitch. That's why I've got the big banner down there, because right now I'm streaming on Twitter and YouTube and all of that, but I'm probably just going to stream on Twitch for a lot of this stuff. So follow me. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I will be back. I'll be back to do some more stuff with this. You like that? Explosion.